So I want to tell you a story about a massive innovation. But it doesn't start in some high-tech lab or a modern factory floor. Nope. It all starts in a muddy 19th century construction yard with a single brick. And we're about to see how rethinking one simple task kicked off a total revolution in how we think about work.
But first, let me ask you something. Just think about it for a second. You got to pick up a brick, slap on some mortar, put it in place. How many separate little movements do you think that takes? Go ahead, take a guess.
The answer for a typical mason back then was 18. Get this, 18 separate motions for every single brick. It sounds insane, right? Almost impossible. And that's exactly what one young foreman thought too. And that number, 18, that's the problem we're going to solve today.
And this is where a guy named Frank Gilbreth comes into the picture. He was a foreman on a construction site, and he'd watch his bricklayers work. But he saw something that nobody else did. He didn't see lazy guys. He saw good workers trapped in a terrible, inefficient system that was just wearing them out.
Now, the big idea here, and this is the key, wasn't about yelling at people to work faster. It was about getting rid of all the wasted effort that was baked right into the job itself. Every unnecessary bend, every reach, every little hesitation. It was a hidden tax on their energy and time.
So Gilbreth, he watched this whole dance and broke down the waste into three main culprits. First, bending down, all day long stooping over to grab bricks from the ground. I mean, just imagine how exhausting that is. Second, searching and sorting. The bricks were just dumped in a pile, so the mason had to pick one up, turn it around in his hands, find the good side, all before even laying it. And finally, nothing was standardized. The mortar was different. The bricks were in a different spot every time. It was just a recipe for awkward movements and wasted time.
Now, this wasn't just Frank's project. His wife, Lillian Gilbreth, who, by the way, is often called the mother of modern management, which is just awesome, was a huge part of this. And together, they had this amazing philosophy. You don't blame the worker for a bad system. You fix the system so the worker can actually win.
Okay, so what did they actually do? Well, their solutions were just brilliant in their simplicity. First, they invented an adjustable scaffold. This little thing brought the bricks and the mortar right up to waist level. Boom, no more bending. Second, they had another worker pre-sort the bricks, laying them out with the perfect side up, ready to be grabbed. And third, they standardized the mortar mix, so it was the perfect consistency every single time. Just three simple, totally low-tech changes.
And that's what's so wild. None of this was, high-tech or super expensive. It was just smart. It was thoughtful. But the results? Oh, the results were absolutely mind-blowing.
So remember that crazy number 18 motions per brick? Well, the Gilbreth method took that number and just crushed it. It went all the way down to just 4.5. I mean, that's not just a little tweak. That's a complete reinvention of the job.
I mean, just look at this chart. You don't even need me to explain it, right? That drop isn't a little dip. It's a sheer cliff. That massive gap, that's all the frustration, all the fatigue, all the wasted time just gone. It's a perfect picture of what happens when you decide to fix the system itself.
And what did that incredible drop in motion lead to? What was the actual result? A 300% increase in productivity. 300%. Masons could suddenly lay 3 times as many bricks in the exact same amount of time and with less effort. And this is maybe the most important part of the whole story. It was never just about going faster. By making the work physically easier, mistakes basically vanished. The quality of the work shot way up. And the masons themselves, they were less tired, they were healthier, and they could have longer careers. It was a win for absolutely everyone.
So, okay, it's a great story about bricklaying from over a century ago. Why should we care today? Well, because the lesson from the Gilbreths' work is totally universal, and it's probably more relevant now than it's ever been.
You can really boil their whole philosophy down to 3 powerful ideas. First, focus on the system. If you want better numbers, fix the process, don't just push the people. Second, never underestimate the power of tiny changes. Getting rid of one little wasted motion doesn't seem like much, but when you multiply that by thousands or millions of times, it becomes absolutely transformative. And finally, this idea that design is dignity. A well-designed process respects the person doing the work. It sets them up to succeed.
And this quote right here, it just sums it all up perfectly. It wasn't about control from the top down. It was about designing a system where the easiest, most natural thing for the worker to do was to be successful.
Which, brings us right back to you. The Gilbreths found the 13.5 wasted motions in laying a brick.
So I'll just leave you with this question. What's the wasted motion in your work? What are the useless meetings, the confusing spreadsheets, the frustrating processes, and what could you and your team accomplish if you found a way to get rid of them?